Welcome to the Die As Cast podcast.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the Die As Cast podcast, Table Talk. This is part 2 of our review of the Campaign Builder, City and Towns by Kobold Press.
Salzbach City Edition.
Salzbach City Edition.
We have 2 of our players with us, Diego and Emma. Although they are not playing with us today, they are doing
We're not playing, yo.
We're not playing. We didn't come here to play.
Yeah, they are doing some serious campaign building.
Yes, hello. Thank you very much. I want to speak to you very seriously today about campaign building.
Yeah.
And
Thank you. Thank you for having us, Kevin.
yes, thank you so much, Kevin.
All right. So this is part 2 of our sort of a walkthrough. We are building a city. We chose the city, the free city of Salzbach, as our city we're going to build because it is on the edge of the Western Wastes where our characters, 2 of which are played by Emma and Diego, are roaming.
Okay,
So there is a chance.
Wait. Is it Salzbach or Salzbach?
Yeah, how do you spell it?
How do you spell it?
It's
How do you spell
Salzbach.
it? And then we'll figure out how we spell it.
Yeah, then we'll butcher it.
It's Salzbach. Now, for those of you in America, it's Salzbach.
Oh, that's what that means.
That's what they're talking about. I get it. Thanks for translating, Kevin.
Yes. All right. So we had walked through. Should we do a quick recap of what we've developed for the city so far?
Yes, talk about sex mushrooms.
Yes. And also that it's young.
That's right. It is a young city. We established that it was established from a military outpost.
Correct.
It has a lot of tall trees that are excellent for building ships, possibly airships. We haven't settled that part. It has a number of trade items. There are grapes. We called them grapes, but maybe they're not exactly grapes. For making wine, there is a lot of salt, which was amazingly coincidental. And there are 2 kinds of mushrooms. There are the short, tiny, wide, triangle, pale brown mushrooms that have an orange scent.
Which we named.
Hold on. The Mad Bite's Blade, or Mad Blade's Bite. We hadn't settled on that yet.
I think we got with Mad Blade's Bite.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Oh, it's about making sense, is it?
Always.
All of a sudden,
I don't know if we want to
time
have such a change of strategy right in the middle of the campaign.
I don't think it's a change in strategy whatsoever.
Okay. All right. And then we have the second mushroom, which is underground. It has a low-range sonar sound. It vibrates when it's ripe. It is pale blue. It makes you quite sick to eat it, but people don't eat it. They use it to add to their nights of love. It's like, what's that? Yeah, it's like those, deep-voiced singers from the 60s and 70s.
Yeah.
Baby. That kind of thing.
That's what the mushroom sounds like?
I don't
Yeah, the mushroom goes, baby. And it has that vibe that just goes right through you.
No,
Charms them.
I don't.
Hey, whatever floats their boat, huh?
I don't think it says. No. I was giving it a real life historical reference, so you caught the feel. Not that it would actually say.
They
baby.
don't say.
It probably says
baby.
Hey,
Bach.
baby. Yeah.
And they're
They
called,
say, "Hey, Sal, welcome back."
All right. You know what? Diego? Diego? Whatever works for the 2 of you, we don't need to get into.
Oh God!
But now I am imagining a whole
No, don't. You don't need to
scenario.
Don't imagine that. No imagination.
anything.
No, keep your imagination out of there.
Okay. Anyway, those mushrooms are called Path of the Green Drum. And the area These are illicit mushrooms, we figured out. So they are available only illegally and only through the green light district.
Green light district, which is the opposite of what you think it means.
Oh, the land features we found out. First of all, there are magical cisterns under the city that are enchanted to remove the salt that is in the water, because otherwise the water is nearly undrinkable.
Yes.
There are 2 large rings, double rings of fortified walls, which harkens back to its time as a military outpost.
Mm-hmm.
They are short. What they have to trade for mostly is basic foodstuffs like grain and livestock, because the soil in the area is great for growing mushrooms, pretty good for growing the
salt.
Very, very good for growing salt.
Trees.
Which is
trees.
And trees, just not great for grain.
Yeah.
So maybe the salt grows on trees? Maybe they have like
salt trees?
Or like maybe it's a kind of
salt
tree
poplar.
that because of the salt poplars, they grow so straight because they have to have very large, wide channels for extracting the salt. You know, botany 101, phloem and xylem stuff.
Ooh. It's like I picture like when you shake a tree for like, I don't know, whatever you want to shake it for, but it's like dandruff. It just falls.
Dandruff.
Yeah, the trees have some way of like extracting the salt from the water, and then they can shed it back into out of their
That's
stoma.
Actually so dope.
Yeah, that's
the
really
stoma.
Yeah, I think that's a botany term. Hey, botanists, let us know. Don't say get in the comments. That's taken.
Get it? Yeah, that's taken. We established that last episode. Maybe you should be playing the tree person, Emma. You know so much.
Once upon a time, I took some botany. It's about 20 years ago, and it's all coming back to me now. That's a Celine Dion reference, but
not a the
anyway, what else
which is
do we
also
roll
about 20 years ago. Just coming back to you now. The maybe it was that Ilex had a close relationship with one of the tree people.
Totally.
As part of her exploration.
That's for a different episode. That's not what we're talking about today.
Who's Ilex? She's not here.
Baby.
Oh, God.
Okay, Mushroom Kevin. Get it together.
Mushroom Kevin. Now there is an NPC. Hold on, I gotta write that down. Mushroom Kevin.
You're welcome.
He's the dealer. He thinks he's super sleek.
And opens up his jacket and goes, "Hey, baby." Bunch of mushrooms in his pea coat.
I sort of like the idea that these mushrooms might be rare in a way, that like that's why they're illegal, is that like they're trying to preserve them in some way. Like there's an ecological kind of, you know what I mean? Not just that they're like anti-sex things, but they're like, there's something else to explore there as to why they're illicit.
Right. What if there was some sort of like religious item, something used in a temple that is that can be abused by using it strictly in the green light district?
How could a sex mushroom be used in a temple?
Well, if you think of things like tantric yoga.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it gets sort of like, according to some people, it would be bastardized to sort of take those practices and
Yeah.
to their base.
Right. Or yeah, that's right. To where it's not used for anything except just mindless pleasure, as opposed to reaching deeper into touch the god or goddess. Maybe the green drum represents some sort of, in the temple originally, it was the drum that was used to sort of trigger the yogic tantric practices.
Oh, and that's why they named it that.
Mm-hmm. People probably don't know that, though. Okay, yeah, cool, yeah.
Okay.
Lost to history.
I haven't rolled dice in like an hour, so like I probably should roll some dice.
Okay, we jump to what made people noble in the city. So what were the upper class people? And that was the ones that were highly educated, and we figured out it was like a military school.
Yeah, officers.
Yeah, like meaning in combat or like?
Potentially, yeah. I would imagine that if it's a free city, assuming that means it's an independent city, they would be required to put X number of minimum hours into,
Right.
Like Finland or whatever, where you have to be in 2
you
years
have
in
to
the military.
participate. Yeah.
So it's more like a militia than a military, because military is like tied to the state in some way, right? But this is like an independent militia kind of situation. Does that make sense? Am I getting in the weeds of nomenclature again?
What is it called? Stratocracy?
Stratocracy, yep.
Stratocracy.
I think militia might be too loosey-goosey. Although, you know what? We could call it anything we want because it's our...
Because it's not real.
Fantasy.
Because it's not real. That's right. It's our Salzbach. It's
We
no one
had
else's.
sex mushrooms. We're drawing the line at militia.
Yeah, that's too loosey-goosey.
Well, obviously, duh.
Yeah, it's true.
So now we are going to flip, and instead of looking at nobility, we're going to look at some examples of things that you might find in a sewer. So I think we should do 4 of these. Hold on one second. I'll just
4 sewer things.
4 sewer things, just like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
They are 4 sewer things.
All right. So I'll get you guys to roll a d20 twice.
Oh my God.
I got a 4 on my first roll.
I got an 8.
Okay. So let's talk about number 4. A drenched or mewling kitten or puppy lies curled up in a pile of trash beneath the sewer grate. So this is obviously very specific things.
Yeah, that's for like an adventure, like an encounter.
Yeah.
Let's find out what all of them are and then see.
Yeah.
There is a corridor with dozens of pipes. Number 8 is a corridor with dozens of pipes running through the walls that shows signs of a recent partial collapse. Many of the pipes are crumpled, and hissing steam punctuates the situation.
Okay.
All right, roll for me again, please.
My other roll was a 14.
A 14. A clutch of crabs pick at the body of a fallen adventurer floating in the mud.
Okay. Crabs?
Love that.
In the middle of nowhere near the ocean?
Terrestrial crabs.
Well, if the water is salty,
The
Maybe
crabs
it's an
will
isolated
come.
population of crabs that got cut off, you know what I mean, from the ocean, and now they're like, me. I'm doing a very good
Me.
crab impression for those who are only consuming this in an audio format,
Which is everybody.
which is all of you. But trust that it's great.
It is astonishing how good of a crab that is.
Thank you.
I find it interesting that you focused on the crabs and not the fact that there's a dead body in there.
Oh, there's
It's
always
D&D.
dead bodies. It's
You're gonna
sewer.
find dead bodies everywhere.
Okay. Excellent. Well, there could be like crabs unique to this,
Yeah.
these cisterns or these wells or these underground areas, because in Banff, there's those.
The snails.
Remember they had all those 3 German. Yeah, they had those 3 German tourists basically wipe out 80% of the population of some specific snail because they walked through the cave-in basin when they were drunk.
Yes. Don't do that.
What?
Yes. Great ecological tragedy in Alberta. They're okay.
Oh my
the
God.
snails are coming back now, but
Okay, good.
Yeah, not the Germans though.
no, the Germans were taken out by Parks Canada. That's
They
not
were
true.
taken out. Actually, that's not exactly
Jesus,
true.
can you
They were
imagine?
taken out. They were taken out of Parks Canada. That's all, not by.
Oh,
Parks
sorry. Little
removed.
misphrasing there.
I mean, this is Canada after all. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, that's you are. Oh,
Oh,
Our
no.
snails.
Yeah.
our snails. All right, Diego, second roll, please.
I rolled a 3 on my second roll.
Oh, this is interesting. I mean, you're right. These are absolutely adventure hooks rather than something that we need to think about. But taken together, they could become an excellent
A
layered.
series of clues.
Yeah, exactly. In this third, or number 3 on the items, loose sheet music is scattered about, notations crossed out in red ink before being torn apart and soiled. Initial in a corner of the pages reads MH, and the paper bears the watermark of a bardic college in the city above.
Holy shit, that's a lot.
That is pretty cool.
It's like maybe too much. Okay, so what I'm hearing here is wide sewer grates, unsafe conditions above. People are dropping shit all the time.
Yeah. But also, what better place to get good acoustics if not in the sewers?
True. And there's a bard
Right?
college, apparently.
Yeah, that connects to the sewers. How sick.
I mean,
Maybe this is
maybe there's
the
plumbing.
real Bach.
The real Bach.
Maybe this is the real Bach.
The real Bach. Wait, no, the
Johann.
initials are MH.
Yeah, so that's not
Right.
Johann Sebastian. That's not right.
No, that doesn't quite fit.
What if they have indoor plumbing?
The thought of indoor plumbing makes me flush with excitement.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, it would be... Oh, I didn't even pick up on your terrible joke. Oh, no. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. Would have been even funnier if both of us missed it and we're just like sitting here.
That's true, because I just sit there and let it happen. All right, yeah. So they tip into some more adventure hooks that we won't get into the specifics of. But for people who are considering the book, there's lots of great things. Like they have sort of underworld meetups that you can be involved with or you can see happening. And again, this is literally underworld because we're talking about being in the sewer.
I do kind of like the idea of a detail like, yeah, the sewer grates are really wide in the city. You got to be careful. That's just sort of like a little thing that would be good
Right.
flavor. You know, it's
Yeah.
not even...
Look at, little folk here who fell in the grates and got eaten by crabs.
Yeah, and there's always kittens. Poor kittens. Like,
Poor
just like
kittens. I
people
forgot
always-
about the kittens. I got stuck on the crabs.
All right. So we figured out it was a stratocracy. So we will have, they have the various. Now, the other thing, like I think I've said, I definitely said this in the last time. I really like that they don't not only have the tables, but they have a description of all the different things. So they have listings for city officials, chamberlain, chancellor, chief justice. If it's a priesthood, if it was, the lord of the treasury, noble families. Okay. So the noble families. So this in our town, in our city, the noble families are colonels or generals, or maybe retired, or maybe colonel first class. They are basically the nobility. However, and we're just going to do an example of this one. They have family secrets. So let's talk about. Oh, actually, before we get into that.
Diego, why don't you share one of your family secrets?
Well, here, let me tell you.
Redacted.
Bleep it all out.
All right. So this is spheres of interest. So these are things that the nobility are involved in. And this is obviously they would be involved in the military, but this might determine what their specialty is or what they do in addition or what their family does. So let's just take a couple of examples for the spheres of interest. I'll get you guys to each roll me a D20.
Not bad.
Not bad. A 15.
Oh, I'm 15 here as well.
Hey.
What
Not
the
bad
heck?
at all.
So 15 is patrons of the arts.
The bard
Oh.
music. The bard music. The sheet music.
The sheet music of the bard. The sheet music of the bard of college. The college of the bards.
Maybe there's
Bard
a
of
college of
colleges.
swords. You know what I'm like that bard?
Yes,
Subclass,
because they're
Yeah.
soldiers. Even the bards are fighters.
That's actually a rad subclass and
It's pretty cool.
it's good flavor.
I like that idea because it could literally be this particular bardic college is all about that sort of militia tattoo kind of that idea.
That sounds
Yeah.
awesome. They're all rock stars, just like.
Do you mean tattoo like the drum pattern or tattoo like getting tatted up like in prison?
I'm always thinking about the military tattoo they have where they have, I think that's the drumming. where they all launch themselves around. And
some words have 2 meanings, and yeah.
This is like Schoolhouse Rock.
Great movie, by the way. Great movie.
No, Schoolhouse Rock is like...
Schoolhouse Rock is different.
No, I was talking about School of Rock.
Right.
Which is a great movie. Schoolhouse Rock is just,
is a great series of educational cartoons.
Yeah.
I'm just a bill. Yes, I'm only a bill. I'm Canadian, and I know that bill is sitting there on Capitol Hill. And
oh my God.
Thanks to Schoolhouse Rock.
The difference in generations here is very funny.
Oh, really? You don't know about this?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Really?
Sitting on Capitol Hill?
Not at all.
Kevin, do you know?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I'm the intersection then. Well, I'm closer to Diego's age than Kevin's age.
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm not. I don't know.
Oh, you'll never find out, listeners.
Well, what it means, though, is that Schoolhouse Rock thing dropped off in popularity.
Or maybe I'm just foreign.
Or maybe Diego wasn't allowed to watch Saturday morning cartoons, and...
Yeah.
Well, technically, we're all foreign for that particular Schoolhouse Rock thing.
Yeah, because it is...
Is that not a Canadian thing?
It's explaining American politics to...
Oh, got it.
Like,
we're getting
Sesame
sidetracked.
Street viewers.
No, but honestly, I feel like you should watch it,
The
Diego.
whole podcast is a sidetrack.
I will. I'll check it out. I'll put it in my notes.
They're pretty good cartoons.
Yeah, the one I remember most clearly is called Beans and Rice, I think.
Oh, see, I don't know that one.
We're getting so sidetracked here.
No, the people want to know about which one is the best Schoolhouse Rock.
Okay, so do we want to have it that the nobility are all focused on the patrons of the arts, or do we want to have a variety of things that the nobility think about?
I love the idea that, like, the elite get to go to Bard College. Everybody has to do their military service in defense of the system.
Oh, yeah.
But then, like, if you've got some skill, then the noble families might take an interest in you, and therefore you are selected through the Bard College kind of thing, right? Like,
there are grants and scholarships.
Yeah, like sports, like being a good basketball player or something, but instead you're a bard.
That could be cool.
You're a cello player.
Yeah.
Cello may not be the best bard instrument, but because of the chair. But,
probably not.
Yeah, it's hard to
bring on adventures is hard.
You have to sit down.
Have to get set up, get the music stand set up. You gotta wait for your cue because, of course, you're not in the lead cello. You're one of the support cellos, so you're only playing.
But if we're College of Swords, then we're talking flourishes and sort of like style points instead of like.
Yeah.
And the cello itself is really more of a crossbow, and it's really about that whole.
Ooh.
Fun. Yeah, fun things.
Or like if you have like I was thinking of not a stiletto sword, but like I guess kind of like a stiletto knife that also doubles as a violin thingy.
Lots of ways to flavor this. Yeah, that's so great. Like a bow is what that's called.
A bow. Yeah, that's what it's called.
See, some words have 2 meanings.
My God, that's reincorporation right there.
A bow that you can use as a bow.
Okay, let's continue.
So now we're getting too sidetracked, Kevin.
All right.
Yeah, when I get bored of topic, then we should continue. Okay, let's go back to this is now the family secrets.
Yeah.
Right.
What's the dirt? What's the lie?
Start me off. Actually, D20 again, please.
Okay, I choose this one.
I choose you. 7.
Nat 1.
That means
my secret's really dirty.
Yeah. Oh, you cannot wait to hear about this.
It's one of the worst things I've ever heard.
Oh.
It makes me shudder in real life. The family has fallen on hard times and is on the verge of bankruptcy.
Is that the oh no, Kevin's a financial planner, and so it really does hurt.
It's okay. No. I'm all right. Let's go on.
This is great for you, Kevin. You can offer them your help.
Yeah, that's right. This is a business opportunity.
No, they can't afford me. All right. Number 7.
Pro bono.
I don't even know what you're talking about. It's like you're speaking Latin to me. All right. The outcast of the family. This is number 7. The outcast of the family is blackmailing the head of the house for past improprieties.
Impropriety.
All right. So the impropriety, you need to roll again to figure out what the past impropriety is.
Let's do it.
So number 7, roll again. That was Diego, I think.
A D20?
Yes.
Oh, that's a natural 20, baby.
After breaking a promise to a fey lady 50 years ago, the family fell under a curse.
That's awesome. That's so juicy.
Really juicy.
Forget the thing about bankruptcy. That's boring financial planning stuff.
Yeah.
Let's go with the
Who
fey
is this
promise.
fey lady?
Sorry, Kevin.
You don't sound sorry.
Fey Wild. Fey Wild Adventure.
Fey
we're on the
curse.
Fey path right now.
I love a curse.
Like, what's your favorite curse?
It's probably hex.
Holy macanoli.
Oh.
All right, let's jump ahead. So now we are going to come up with some guilds.
Guilds?
Yes. So I will get first Diego I'll get you to roll percentage for what kind of guild.
Yes. Percent. Oh God. 26.
26 cartographers and surveyors. And Emma, I will get you to roll me a 12-sider twice.
Okay. Oh, I put all my D12s over here. A 5 and an 8.
So this is the Loyal Guild of Cartographers and Surveyors.
So, like, what is their mission? Are they looking to expand, or are they looking to why?
Strategic advantages?
They have such a stronghold with the double wall.
Mm-hmm.
Why is cartography and surveying?
Well, I would think it could also be like the idea of the engineering corps in the military, whose job is to like build bridges and determine paths and roads and those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's connected underground to the cisterns. Like maybe there's more.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just thinking under Mavros, there was all that infrastructure that we discovered. Yeah. There could be more of that going on here.
Right. Well, maybe as the city is expanding, they are trying to sort out a third wall, a bigger wall. Maybe they are trying to get bigger.
Like have a greater outer wall than city and then 2 inner walls? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, as the city gets bigger, they just keep adding walls. And the idea would be, once the population gets of a certain size, well, these military people would think, of course, we need one other wall because we need to defend all the new people that have expanded beyond the current walls.
Like Minas Tirith.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. The idea of the city growing. And maybe it's half completed right now and has stopped because the family that was in charge are under a curse of a fey lady.
They're not able to find some sort of resource. They need more wheat to make paper mache for their walls.
They cursed the whole city. Jeez.
It's probably not paper mache, guys, but
no, it's probably not paper mache.
Could be.
Although, what's that one you need salt for? Like the salt clay.
Play-Doh?
I don't know.
Play-Doh, like a homemade Play-Doh.
You need salt for that?
Well, you don't need salt for Play-Doh that you buy, but the stuff that you make that becomes the salt.
I was gonna say I never put salt in my Play-Doh when I was a kid.
Did you ever make homemade Play-Doh?
No.
Well, it's made out of salt.
Oh, it's made out of salt.
This is what we were all doing on Saturday mornings while watching Schoolhouse Rock. So
Wow. The culture, Canadian culture is so interesting. Why am I waiting till I'm almost 30 to find out?
I don't know.
I don't know. Come over to my house, Diego. We'll watch cartoons and make Play-Doh.
There you go. All right. Excellent. Now, let's flip it. I will get Emma, you to roll another percentile or to roll percentiles.
My pleasure. Oh boy. It's 69. Oh yeah.
The face of joy.
So, this is interesting. We're going to go with perfumers.
Oh, okay.
Now,
maybe that's what the orange mushrooms do. Okay, sorry. I'm so ready to extrapolate.
No, that's perfect. That's exactly what we're doing. So, Diego, I'll get you to roll 2 12-siders to give me the name of the perfumers.
Perfumers. Oh, God, I missed. It's on the floor. Sorry. 4 and a 6.
All right. So this is the Honorable Federation of Perfumers.
Ooh,
Whoa.
Federation.
Why do they need a federation?
Well, why would they need a federation? I bet, Federation usually refers to, I can't help thinking of Star Trek, of course, but the Federation usually, is a bunch of diverse entities. So maybe there are different nationalities, or maybe the perfumers are, I think tying it back to the second mushroom would be interesting. Honorable Federation. What if the perfumers were all foreigners? Like not necessarily now, but they were all originally, they had come from, some of the other bigger cities and brought the practice
their skills
of perfumery.
Mm-hmm. And then they were drawn here for that ingredient that they can access here and are trying to sort of establish themselves as like a hub or something.
Right. That's right. And they call themselves the Honorable Federation because they are showing their loyalty to the free city.
Yes, but they don't call themselves the Loyal Guild because that name is already taken.
That's right. Maybe there's a battle happening because the Honorable Federation wants to be known as the Loyal Federation. Actually, the Loyal Guild of Cartographers, if they were responsible for drawing up like battle plans, battle maps, areas, they would want to show because they would be involved in the core planning of military campaigns.
Definitely,
so they would say they're the Loyal Guild to show that they are reliable.
Yeah.
And they've always hated those perfumers.
We've established so much about preparation for battle, but it's like there's no war happening.
Yeah, nobody's fighting these people.
Yeah, why are you guys so freaking out? Everybody's fine.
Maybe. Wait. But maybe they had to fortify themselves. Because, see, I was thinking about this the last time we recorded, but on the previous episode. But what if they're protecting themselves against a Titan? Or they were.
Right. Yeah, what's the threat? Like that they're...
What is the threat? Because this is still in the Wasted West, right?
It's just on the outer edge.
And maybe they heard that these Titans are allergic to perfumes.
Oh, yeah, there's some sort of myth out there about using scent-based things against the Titans.
Yeah, if you make these Titans sneeze, they absolutely collapse.
Totally, and it could be complete bullshit, but there's some sort of lie or something that they believe in. That's interesting.
I love that I was making that as a joke, and you guys, I feel like I sense that you're taking this very seriously.
Jokes. But also, okay, because what I understand of the Margrave and the Alciids is also sort of using scent and sound, so tying it in a little bit to the campaign and why and how trade might happen. The diplomats that the Alciids are in the Margrave, etc. There's like a room for, they might want some of the ingredients that we have.
Yeah.
Those kinds of things, right? Like, anyway.
It's all interesting for sure.
We don't have to decide now.
No. All right. Let's move on to the next thing, which is a criminal guild.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, Diego, I'll get you to roll me a D20 to talk about what kind of crime these people do. Actually, let's get you guys to each roll a crime.
Sure.
Roll a crime.
Roll for crime.
20-sider, please.
19.
8.
Okay, so they are counterfeiters.
Mm-hmm.
Man, this thing really makes you think. Whoa!
Oh, I don't like that one.
That's bad.
That's a great evil.
I mean, this whole time, I've been thinking a little bit about tyranny with these people.
Yeah, and
the
now
fact
I'm like,
that they're military
these people suck.
Yeah, kind of. This just solidified it for me.
Yeah, and now I'm like, if we ever went here, we're like talking full
killing
on
every single one
coup.
of them.
So now the name of the criminal guild, Counterfeiters and Slavers. I will get Diego to call him A, and Emma, you'll call him B.
Okay.
With 20?
Please.
17.
15.
All right. They call themselves the Shadow Poachers.
The Shadow Poachers.
So the counterfeiters are selling counterfeit goods from the mushrooms.
Mm.
You know, like false.
Fake mushroom?
Fake.
Or fake orders.
Fake orders?
Yes, because you would need an order. Maybe it is a fairly strict city, so you need orders to be somewhere and do something. Or if you want to be a traveler, you need permission. You need an order from your superior.
Oh,
and
I
their
see,
job
I
is
see.
to create orders. I'm guessing, right? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the slavery aspect maybe comes into, well, maybe if we combine those two things, maybe it's something like if you want to come into the safety of the city, yeah, the idea would be, yes, we will forge, you were supposed to be born here, or maybe there's some qualification. Maybe it's not even to enter the city. Maybe it's to get enrolled in the army. Maybe it's to get enrolled in the college. You need orders from someone else.
Right.
And these people will get you those orders so you can, in return, you agree once you graduate to work for us for the next 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That the way to excel here is to go through the college, but there still have to be like shopkeepers and, janitors. Those people still have to exist.
Right. But if we're saying the educated are the nobility, if you want to advance.
Yeah.
And again, we're just extrapolating here. It doesn't. None of this has to be. It's like, what's her name? Felicity Huffman, buying her kids into school.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
She'd be part of the something poachers? The Shadow Poachers.
I don't know if poachers is the exact word we want.
Well, it doesn't sound right. Yeah.
Let's try a different
Should we roll again?
Yeah, roll. Whoever did B, I think that was you, Emma. Just roll again. Let's see.
I'll just try again. It's my fault. 9?
I don't know if that was any better. It's the Shadow Feet.
The Shadow Feet?
Yeah.
I don't like F-E-E-T?
F-E-E-T.
I don't mind that. That
What?
works. That's like weird enough that
It's really weird and like awesomely covert because they're not. That has nothing to do with what they're doing.
Yeah, maybe it's all about like the quiet foot, quiet, that cut purse idea. We'll leave it with the Shadow Feet. It's better than poachers for sure. We'll leave it as the Shadow Feet. And
I like Shadow Feet. That
Shadow
sounds great.
Feet.
I like it.
Now, and again, what the book does is it says, okay, here's the benefits of being a member. Here's the benefits of working for one of the regular guilds. Here's the benefits of joining an illicit guild. And then it has some examples of missions and how you advance, what you're required to pay, what the benefits are, what the the downside are.
Except if you're a member of the counterfeiters, you could just counterfeit all those papers to rise through the ranks within your criminal guild.
Right. We have to assume that they will have some controls for that. Wait a minute.
Wait a second. I didn't sign this. Has my signature on it.
All right. Let's look at city points of interest now. So these are
over here. We have a fountain. And
here we have the rainbow dancers.
the gilded dancers.
That's what it was. The gilded dancers.
We should think about naming the Bard College or the military school something that has to do with feet. And then that will make Shadow Feet make sense. Like something like the step or
I had it and it just left my brain. I'm seeing it walk away into the distance.
On feet?
Yep.
the march, just something that has the boot.
What do they call it when they have all sorts of medals and things? They talk about that as being like ornament or
decorated.
No, not ornament. Yeah.
Who in the military?
Yeah. The decorated boot. The decorated beat. If we're doing Bard College with drums.
That's not bad.
Decorated decorum. I think decorated works. Something around the foot thing is interesting.
So that, it makes the covert people seem like they were clever. And they chose the shadow feet. Anyway.
Yeah.
Is there a specific name for cavalry and stuff tend to have those higher leather boots?
What they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Let's file that for now, just so we don't get too far off topic here.
Yeah.
Too late.
He's Googling.
All right. I'll get you guys to roll me. Let's see, what do we got here? Another 20-sider, please.
Both of us.
Please.
16.
4.
All right, I'll do 4 because it's staring me in the face. There is an old fountain.
I said fountain.
You did.
I manifested this.
Sculpted to depict a sea god who has long been out of favor in this area. Water continues to pour from the old fountain, though it sometimes flows with blood.
What the? That's a quick turn there at the end.
That's dark. Yeah.
So I'm totally getting this place maybe used to be on the seashore. And then when the waters retreated over whatever, something, that's why it's so salty here. It's yeah.
Right.
So there's a legacy here of crabs.
Maybe it used to be a thing for the black goat, who is now the black goat. And now because these people have refused to follow her to her dark path.
Bacana.
Now the fountain sometimes flows with blood.
And it runs with salt water most of the time, with the...
Oh, yeah, interesting.
That's good.
Cool fountain. And it's called Cool Fountain is what it's called.
It's called the Cool Fountain because all the cool kids hang around it.
That's right. And they throw their coins in there.
But only copper. Maybe
lover.
electrum. For the black goat, they ask the black goat for a lover?
Yep. Yeah,
sure.
They do. Yeah, of course they do, Diego.
They do. Duh, because the black goat was in cahoots with Mavros.
Well, the black goat was Bacana, who was the
lover of Mavros.
Yeah. So we know all sorts of things about that pantheon.
Everybody knows their history.
Everybody knows that.
Everybody has those days.
I think what if we skipped the sea aspect and just made it a sculpture to Bacana?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. We're keeping the lover's part though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Always. All right. Number 16 is the ruins of the first. It says ruins of the first mansion, but we're going to call it ruins of the first outpost.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So this is like a heritage park aspect, and they all dress up in 300-year-old
military outfits.
Yeah, which look exactly the same as the current ones, but there's subtle differences.
But they're old.
Yeah, and they don't have boots; they just have flip flops. It's the
in
original,
the summer.
Yeah, in the summer. Oh, and there is the east wing of the outpost is in rubble, left in rubble on purpose.
This ancient outpost.
In memoriam to the one time they were defeated, and they will never be defeated again.
Ooh.
Or some core betrayal. Maybe a betrayal that led to them declaring themselves free of whatever nation they were a part of initially.
So they were the betrayers?
No, but they weren't supported by the capital city when they in their worst trouble.
Because this is a relatively new settlement, right? Maybe they are trying to replicate an old, an attempted coup or something that went well but didn't last. And so now they're trying again.
Mm.
Because it's young, right? Quote unquote young.
Yeah.
So they're...
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah,
I'm into it.
All right.
And Salzbach seems like it has a lot going for it, but it also kind of sucks.
Yeah. Pretty cool, pretty sucky.
I don't think I want to live there, but I do want to splash in the fountain.
Just throw a couple of Electrum in there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is a secret cult, a cult that operates secretly, that's separate from the criminal cult.
Man.
Criminal cult?
There's so much.
Not criminal cult, criminal guild.
Guild.
Yeah. All right. A D20. We'll just do one.
I don't want to. I don't want to do that.
You don't want to roll for cult?
Okay.
I don't want to touch the cult.
I want to touch the cult.
I don't want any fake curses falling upon my family.
What kind of cult does 16 get me?
Oh, rats.
Oh, for God's sake.
Kevin loves a rat cult.
Oh my God.
This is so stacked by Kevin Coyle.
Classic. I bet you that's not even what the number was. I bet you Kevin just looked at it and was like, oh, I guess it's rats.
Gotta be rats.
All right. It is actually 16. If I was going to pick one, I was going to pick Forgotten God, which is number 12. But the rats does tie in perfectly to our campaign.
It sure
especially
does.
with the rat demon that Maeve was dallying with.
Wow!
Chicka-pew! That's what his name is.
Wow! That's his name.
So, the cult's name. This is 320 cider. So I'll get Diego, you run the first one, please.
Holy.
It's not really like rolling for cult. It's just rolling for name.
Rolling for name. Yeah, it doesn't feel quite as effective. 6.
6 is the Crimson.
Ooh.
Can I abstain from my roll and just put Gnaw as my submission?
The Crimson Gnaw?
Yeah.
Yep, sure.
Yes.
As in like, nah, dude.
As in like, that rodent loves to gnaw on that stick.
I see. Crimson Gnaw. Do I roll again?
Yeah, roll again.
8.
Okay.
What did we end up
It's
with?
the Crimson Gnaw.
Gnaw.
The 8th word is guileless, which seems... it doesn't sound fun. Roll again.
Okay, rolling again. 9.
Still guileless.
Yeah.
It's Haven.
Haven.
The haven of the Crimson Gnaw.
Ooh, that actually kind of sounds dope.
The gnawing haven.
9 Crimson Haven. The haven
The
of gnawing crimson.
No, Haven of the Crimson Knot is we can definitely work with. All right.
I'm being a rodent.
You can't see,
so
but
we're losing focus now.
What? Now?
So they also have a whole section on henchmen and talking about henchmen, the chances of you finding a particular one, what their loyalty is, the types of things they do.
It sounds like there would be a lot of people around Salzbach who could be bought.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like a very corrupt society.
Like if you're not one of the elites or in the college or doing your military service, there's probably a lot of opportunity for moving.
Well, in my D&D experience, nobles are very corrupt also.
Yeah. Like the elites who are patronizing the Bard College, all of that, right? Like if you're not a guild member who's there with like a protected sort of infrastructure, there's probably a lot of opportunity to be bought.
Definitely. But a lot of criminal potential for a lot of people too.
Or mercenary potential or whatever,
mercenary
right?
potential, yeah.
Well, what we seem to be leaning on, and this is a very narrow reference, but it's almost like the Sage book focus we did for that other campaign in terms of there's people who are involved with the college and there's everybody else.
The what?
What are you talking about, sir?
The Sage?
I'm talking about the D20.
Oh, yeah. You can't reference that on this medium.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure.
Sorry.
Diego wasn't part of that.
Oh, I see. This is like a real life game that you guys had without us.
Yes.
We don't talk about it, Diego. It's okay.
Well, you do clearly.
What we're starting to get really into is a lot of the really finely detailed things. So, it's personalities of NPCs.
I don't want to know that. That's your business, sir.
Yeah, the people don't need to hear that. They can come up with that stuff on their own.
Right. But the beauty of this is that it creates a system. I mean, there's lots of material out there for creating that kind of thing and doing that kind of thing. What's great about this is that it is all in one book. And the emphasis on creating NPCs would be more important if you're having like a city-based campaign, because you end up meeting so many more people.
Oh, right? Yeah.
You're not just wandering ruins, and you end up talking to people all the time. And that's, of course, one of the key challenges that a lot of people don't think about when you're doing, whether it's any of the sort of the Zobek ones or the Waterdeep ones. It's all these, there's tons and tons of people. So having some generators means you can create really unique NPCs, because you definitely can make them up on your own, but they're never going to be as sort of fully interesting as if you sort of create a series of them.
And it comes back to the whole thing about inspiration too. Like sometimes you can just get stuck on like a few things that you can think of, or like a few references that you know about in movies and stuff.
Yeah.
But just like having some other source where you can just roll a die and be like, okay, this is this random thing that I would have never thought of, but it inspires this other thing. And you may not use it, but it inspires this thing that you do want to use.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even just having that springboard, right?
Totally.
Like having that single NPC trait can inform the whole thing around the NPC, especially if you know that the NPC works for the whatever we called our guild.
Haven of the Crimson Gnaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that starts to layer in. And the beauty about that kind of thing, and I want to emphasize this, I mean, obviously most of the DMs who are listening get this, is that can be what you add into any sort of established adventure that creates extra color and then can be reincorporated later.
Yeah, an NPC really only needs to be like a motivation and a unique trait, and then let the rest of the encounter with your PCs inform.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't have to be a full backstory for every NPC.
No, there's a fellow out there named John Four, and he writes about his 3-line NPCs. And if I'm mixing that up, I apologize. But effectively, yeah, there's 3 traits you need for every NPC. Everything else is fungible.
Yeah, and should be. Like, if you get too bogged down in creating all of it, then you won't be able to flex when your PCs inevitably fuck it up.
Yeah, or just like you end up writing hours for this one NPC, and then they just stab it the first time they meet him because he just looked at them weird.
Kill them dead because they don't know what else to do and they panic.
But this is a really great tool, especially I think for new DMs too, who like can get overwhelmed by the idea of writing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
or for DM burnout, like when you're just like if you just need a jumping off point. That's awesome. Because I feel really inspired about Salzbach, and I didn't know anything about Salzbach 2 seconds ago, so. Right.
And the interesting thing is that it builds in. I mean, a lot of this stuff can be discovered by the players as they go through the city.
Yes.
They don't have to know any of this beforehand. All they need are tidbits. And by having this much sort of detail, and again, you don't, as Diego referenced, or I guess you both referenced, you don't want to necessarily plow this into every possible city out there, but you can have them discover bits and pieces. And if they end up leaving the city that they're in and going to another city, you just start there and you continue to use this same work and just layer it slightly differently. Or you just re-roll a couple of the different features to make it, so it becomes this sort of building, rolling collection of interesting features. Now, again, there's lots of other resources like this out there. There's a lot of places that will flesh out full cities to use as examples. And there's a few books and PDFs and websites that I know of that are allowed that, do a lot of this kind of stuff. So I, just off the top of my head, if you already have the Spectacular Settlements book, it's a third party published off the DMs Guild. This will be very similar to that one. What I like, the difference I see is that there's more tables, more detail in Spectacular Settlements. This one I like because it has more explanation and more thought and more, or sort of generates more thought, but it guides you on what you should be thinking about. So there is a slightly different focus between the two of them. So they could both certainly work together. The other two references that I use that would be not necessarily similar, but could add additional elements are the Strongholds and Followers book. It's more about specific things for the players to do and specific buildings and things, but usually they take place within, obviously some sort of settlement. Mm-hmm. And then the other one that I find really useful, and this is it's a little more focused, but it's called the Durnan's Guide to Tavern Keeping. So the beauty about this is that it's based on one of the Waterdeep adventures, and what it does is it creates ongoing events that happen to the tavern you're keeping, and it's very easily extracted to these are things that are happening in the city right now. And having there are event generators and things online. So one of the great things about City Adventures is that there's always something going on, big or small. And I love that idea of taking this stuff as the springboard, then layering in events on top of that so that, if the characters go down into the sewers for 3 weeks, maybe these 3 things happen. So when they come back up, something has minor or majorly changed, and that passage of time gives characters a sense of realism, but it also gives it its great urgency. Sort of sense of, urgency around all that kind of stuff. So I love that aspect of realism that things like this can form. And again, knowing the fact that there is this old fountain that, maybe isn't really well known, but the locals know that it's to the goddess Bacana, and maybe her cult still gathers there to worship her. The fact that there's this second set of mushrooms that they don't know anything about. I mean, they wouldn't come in, well, who knows what players will do, but they likely won't come in and go, we want to know about all the mushrooms available in this town.
But, like when you roll your history check, there might be rumors about this town that...
Right. Or you may just notice the green light district and hear that sort of low thrum happening.
Yeah, and it tickles your loins and you go, what's happening?
It tickles your loins.
I think a loin tickler is a perfect name for something. Maybe some sort of like...
Say like a job or something.
Yeah.
What are you? I'm a mushroom fluffer.
Oh, God. Mushroom Kevin, get out of here.
Man. Mushroom Kevin makes a comeback.
All right, everybody. We will wrap it up there at a high point, at a classy high point. I would like to thank Kobold Press for all their support. This has been a review, walkthrough, extrapolation, play test of the campaign builder Cities and Towns. You can find it on the Kobold Press website, and I imagine on DM's Guild. We will have links. We will have a blog with sort of corresponding things that I've talked about, things that other people these two have talked about on the blog.
These two.
Emma and Diego have talked about. We will now return to our regularly scheduled programming.
This has been Table Talk. Pew, pew, pew. That's our...
Emma, if people want to ask you about your extrapolations, how can they contact you? How can they find you out there?
Well, I extrapolate very rarely on social media, but I do sometimes. What? I'm on Instagram.
There we go.
At Cinderella B. That's what you're asking?
Yes.
My DMs are closed. No extrapolations.
Only private.
Diego, where can they find you?
They can find me so many places, but on social media, you can find me on Twitter, Instagram, I always forget, TikTok, and Twitch at Diego Strettle. If you don't know how to spell that, it's in the description. Just look it's right there. You can just scroll down and look at it.
To find us, the Diascast. Look for the Diascast on Facebook, on Twitter, and on the web, diascast.com. Please send us an email. Send us a like for the podcast.
Thank you to Morgan Ermter for the graphic design for the Diascast. Thank you to Maps and Melodies for the music and soundtrack. I don't know exactly what Griffin says here, and I think we already said it, but thank you to KP, Kobold Press, for their source material. That's it.
Excellent.
I hope.
You nailed it, Diego. That sounds really great.
Griffin's going to yell at me later.
He's probably not going to yell. He'd probably just send you a really quiet note.
Passive aggressive.
He will send the shadow feet. Someone from the shadow feet will be at your door.
Oh, God. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We'll see you next